Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So today is the first official green mow of the spring season. That's right, a green mow, not a scalp. You want to find out what mower I'm using? You better stay tuned. Before we get into the mow, let me give you a quick update here on the lawn and what it looks like currently. You know, it's probably been about a week and a half since I scalped the True Cut. I would estimate that the lawn is somewhere about 60 to 70% green up. So some people have asked me, Dwayne, have you thrown down anything yet? Have you thrown down any fertilizer, any soil treatments? And I haven't. And I've really just allowed Mother Nature to kind of take its course here. You know, speaking of Mother Nature, I want to point something out here as I'm kind of going across the lawn. As you can see on the left side of your screen, it's much more dormant than the right side of your screen. For those of you that are new to Bermuda, you may think that there's something wrong with this picture, but it is actually perfectly normal for my yard. The reason why it's normal is because Bermuda, really in order to thrive, needs three things. You need water, you need sunlight, and you need heat. The heat will come obviously as we get deeper into spring, into summer. The water will obviously be there through either Mother Nature or irrigation. Now sunlight is ultimately going to be dependent on its surroundings. And as you guys can see, I have trees, there's a fence line. So just because of that, I know that the left side of the lawn here is going to take a little bit longer to wake up. And in some cases, it may just not be as thick and it may not grow in like the rest of my lawn. And with that, let me go ahead and show you guys what mower we're going to be using. All right, so this will be using today to mow our very first green mow here on Dwayne's World. So, this is a Toro Greensmaster 1000. I absolutely love this mower, although I will say I've only used it a handful of times because I picked it up at the end of the growing season last year. So by that point, the grass wasn't growing. So I couldn't really test it out on my lawn the way I wanted. But that was okay. I just took care of some of the basic maintenance things back then. I went ahead and added a new air filter, a new carburetor, a new spark plug, painted a couple of miscellaneous pieces. It does have a groove roller. It does also have a 14 blade reel. Now that's where the problem comes. Now you may be wondering, well Dwayne, why would a 14 blade reel be a problem? It sounds like something that's pretty cool. And I would agree, it sounds cool. However, the height of cut that I generally like to mow my lawn at is somewhere between 5/8 and 3/4. And a 14 blade reel is really designed for cutting greens. Now this is a greens mower, so it makes sense it has that reel. However, there are other 8-blade or even 11-blade options that will probably be better for my application. Now, I'm not necessarily in a rush to get it swapped out. It's something I may do in the near future. But for right now, just because of the fact that I have plenty of other mowers, I'm just going to see right now how it's going to perform. What I did is I went ahead and just put the mower on its back here just so I could test the reel and bed knife. You know, I have not used this mower very much, and I did set it up last season to be able to cut paper. All right, so I want to go ahead and just check it here and see if it's still cutting paper. Oh, pretty good there, not too bad. Not too bad. Not bad. Not bad. I would say it's not necessarily the cleanest cut. It is cutting paper, but I think afterwards I'm going to do a back lap, and I think it will definitely bring it back to where it should be. And with that, let's go ahead and mow the Bermuda turf. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start it up here. All right, one thing you guys may notice about my Toro Greensmaster is I have removed the transport wheels. And it's only because my Toro Greensmaster didn't come with them. But more importantly, I did not like the fact that I had these transport axles sticking out that could potentially hit different things as I'm mowing. So that's why I decided to ultimately take them off. Now I'm going to go ahead and start up the mower. Now you just want to make sure the fuel is on, which I double checked, which is right there. It's pretty similar to other mowers when you turn it on. You just have a little on switch here on the back. I'm going to go ahead and move my throttle to the run position. I'm going to set my choke about halfway. Now I don't always get it on a first startup, but we'll see. 2 goals. All right, one thing I forgot to mention, the height of cut. It's set to 5/8 of an inch. Now it's not with an AccuGauge, so it's not at 0.625. It is at 5/8 of an inch based on a straight bar and a tape measure. We're going old school. So with that, let's go ahead and get on with our mow. Alright, so really only gonna do one pass. Not too much grass really came off. You know, maybe not even a quarter of the bucket really got filled up. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see what it looks like. Definitely looking pretty good. Got a pretty decent stripe action there. Let me go ahead and turn around and give you guys a better look. Alright, so I want to kind of show you guys my lawn in three different sections here. The left side, as you guys can tell, where I showed you guys earlier, is the most dormant part of my lawn. But if you look in front of it, obviously we have some great stripe action going on. As I pan over here to the second area I want to show you guys, you know, this area was somewhat greened up, but not necessarily fully greened up. What I tried to do around, and I know the stripe action is not looking good right here. It wasn't necessarily on purpose that I did this. I was just experimenting with some double stripes and running the mower back and forth, you know, over the same lines, just to see what it would look like from a quality of cut standpoint. But definitely not happy and proud of that stripe action at all. So, but again, I was just experimenting just because of the fact that right now I'm not really fully greened up, and we'll have plenty of time to be able to go back and fix that. All right, and now let me show you guys the third area of my lawn here. So as you guys can see, this is the greenest portion of my lawn, and the stripe action is absolutely looking on point. I think this is a really, really good indicator of what the lawn's gonna look like in a couple of weeks from now. So I'm so excited. Again, this is no fertilizer, just rain. And that scalp that I did about a week and a half ago, again, cannot complain thus far in the way we've kicked off this 2023 growing season. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, season 2, episode 10 here on Dwayne's World. You know, I guess the message of today's video is don't do double stripes unless you know what you're doing. I should have just kept going and did single stripes, but you know, you never know until you try, right? And I figured with that Toro Greensmaster, and just because of how well it stripes, you know, it might be a phenomenal mower to be able to run those double stripes. So Alright guys, so it's a little bit later in the day. I went ahead and mowed my front lawn. I wasn't planning on putting this on video, but I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so what I decided to do is to go ahead and break out the McLean for this evening mow. And boy, did it do a great job with some phenomenal stripe action. You know, I've said this before in the past where it just really seems like this perennial rye, at least the cultivar I have, stripes better in the shade than it does in the sun. I don't know what it is, but it absolutely is looking on point. You know, one of the things I did want to show you guys, zoom down here into the grass, because one of the things I am dealing with is I am dealing with quite a bit of weeds here in my lawn. And that's simply just because of the fact that I did not use any pre-emergent, you know, going into the fall last year, just because I knew I'll be doing this overseeing project. All right, so the reason why I was showing you guys the weeds there is not because I'm concerned about the weeds, because I'm truly not. And the reason why I'm not concerned about them is because when I spray out the perennial rye, the Celsius or the Certainty that I use will take care of all of those weeds without a problem. So the reason why I bring it up, more importantly, is because I think a lot of times people try to mix both the cool season turf and a warm season turf. This is a perfect example of why you do not want to do that. Because in most cases, when applying a herbicide, generally they're tailored for either warm season turf or cool season turf. Meaning if you have a warm season herbicide, it's not going to be safe for cool season turf. And at the same time, if you have a cool season herbicide, it's not going to be safe for warm season turf. Now there are some on the market you can find, but you're really narrowing the scope of what's going to be safe for both types of grasses. And this is where, again, you're going to want to choose either cool season turf or warm season turf, but again, keeping climate in mind and what will work best in your particular area. Definitely excited. Got a lot more content coming up for you guys. You know, if you haven't given me a thumbs up, please do so. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all those subscribers. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, you know, so far this growing season. I'm very excited about it. So I'm looking forward to being able to bring a lot more content to you guys. As always, be excellent and party on.